you did live there.
I did live for 5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
And you said that you ended up going back to train when you were there.
Yeah, I trained while I was there as well.
What was training
that was my
like?
first competition in Japan. It was sick.
So your first competition. Okay. What was training like out there? Like, how does it differ from what we do here?
It's extremely formal. Like kind of like the old school kind of like way. Like, you know, if you're late, I would have to do like push-ups, or sometimes if I was late, I would just have to watch, which I'm like, and if you leave, like that's like crazy disrespectful. So if you show up late, you're just, well, I wanted to train today. Yeah. So, and you would never know in their mood. It's like either push-ups or watch. And I'm like, hey guys, I have a job. I'm like, I'm trying to do this. But anyway, it would be like stuff like that. You know, all the stuff that like people give like Gracie Baja like shit for is kind of like how Japan is. So like when you would tie your belt, you would have to face away from the sensei. It's not professor. You'd have to face away from him. You had to call him sensei, stuff like that.
Oh no,
it was
I
very,
can't do
very
any of this,
formal.
dude. I would have crashed and burned.
Dude,
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Esparza, coming to you from Teams MMA. And we have somebody here who unfortunately is just in my shot while I do all my plugs. So you know what? He's just going to smile the whole time I plug my shit, and then we'll plug his shit in a second. But we have some friends here joining us on this episode today. Before we talk to them, a few quick reminders, you guys. If you like the show, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe right now. If you don't know what you want to comment on, by the end of this video, I will give you a prompt. So don't worry. Between these two, I'm sure you'll have some kind of conversation to bring up at the very end of the show. You can also check my interviews out 30 days before everybody else by going to my Patreon. That is patreon.com/grappling hour. If you go there, you see 4 interviews per month, 30 days before everybody else. So you'll get to know the information or the exclusives to people who win EBIs, UFC BJJs, way before the rest of the people who are poor and don't pay. Not that we judge people for being poor, but like, you know what I mean? Like, if you got money to spend, I'm right here, bro. So check that out, patreon.com/grappling hour. Last couple reminders, you can also get some Grappling Hour merch, this thing right here, or hoodies. And right now we got tank tops for those of you questionably on steroids. You can go get those at rafasparza.com/grappling hour. And last but not least, if you enjoy the discussions we have here on the show and you want to continue them, go ahead and check us out at our Discord at Grappling Hour. All right, we're in a good place right now because we are here in beautiful San Diego. I am coming down to have a fun weekend, but I figured if I'm going to have some fun, I should see one of our favorite guests. And you know Bobby Winther. He's been on the show. He just won his most recent fight out in September, and he's been busy. And I'm so glad I'm able to make it here. But he's got somebody that he brought along with us today that you might be familiar with if you've seen him fight. If you've seen him on Subversive, my man is always a premium on competition. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome both Bobby Winther and Jordan, Bulletproof more. So Jordan, here's the thing. I'm looking at the name here, and I'm a little confused because I have it on good authority. You're Playboy Jordy. But now you're Bulletproof, Jordy. And the issue is your Instagram tells me to call you this. So do you have to change your name or are you staying with Playboy?
You know, I might change it in the foreseeable future. I had the name Playboy given to me a few years ago, but that was because when I used to live in Japan, instead of the girls saying like, oh, he's a man whore or whatever, they would go, like, you would go up to the girl and then they would, oh, you Playboy. And then and my friends would be like, "What'd she say?" I'd be like, "She just kept calling me a Playboy. I don't know." I'd just walk away. And that's really where it came from.
I didn't fully know where it came from because you strike me as such a well-mannered young man, enlisted. You're always doing something that's outstanding for a young gentleman. And then when I see Playboy, I'm like, I don't know that I get it. But Bulletproof, I think I do. So Bobby, nicknames have to be given. How did this man earn the nickname Bulletproof?
Oh my gosh. So in emphatic fashion right here. Dude, so last weekend, Jordy fights for Yuma Fight League for their lightweight title. And Jordy's a grappler. And he just showed that he can have good defense. He can punch really hard and he can take a hit. And he looked like the Terminator out there. He was just on a mission. He was going to his game plan. He was switching up the game plan and hitting this dude way harder than he thought this guy could get hit, right? And then you just see this guy, he even break this dude. He just breaks him. And and I think Bulletproof really cut it. He has a cut that says Bulletproof on the back, and I'm like, dude, there's no better nickname than that, right? I felt like anything this guy threw at him wasn't getting through to him. It didn't even phase him in there, and he was just walking this dude down until referee had to stop in and save this dude's life.
I mean, I saw the clip, so I do think it is earned. I can say that much. But do you think that you're going to lose some status if you don't have Playboy now? Because it's a big adjustment going from Playboy to Bulletproof. It shows maybe you shed a cocoon now and this is your true self, or are you going to miss being Playboy, or will you still exist as both?
I don't know. It's going to be hard for me to give up the Playboy tag on Instagram. I've had it for so long, and you know what? My girlfriend hates it.
Oh, yeah. Oh no! So wait a minute.
She's been telling me to change it forever. I'm like, no, it's my thing. So
let me get this straight. You have a perfect opportunity to change it, and you're like, nope.
No,
this is the perfect segue. And if she has any say in this, she's going to be the one leading the charge of oh, hey, I changed. I just did it on your Instagram. You're good to go now.
You're like, ooh.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope, one day I changed my name on Instagram, next day I'm doing some other stuff,
Man, I don't think it's as deep as you're thinking. Most
it's
people,
always that deep.
It's always
that deep. I mean, I could see the Playboy Jordy, and the reason why it stuck out to me is maybe because I've seen your work, and I feel like you have to be a certain kind of aggression and a certain kind of status to be able to be a Playboy in MMA. Because if you think about it, you can't just be a guy who barely wins. You're usually a guy that's got style, finesse. And when you competed for us at Subversive, I mean, bro, it was a fun ass match. I was so happy for both you and Sauce. And it's so funny, you both were big nerds about it. So I went up to him and he was looking at me and he's like, yeah, whatever, I'm so sorry. And I was like, yeah, it was a fun match. I thought it was great. I go up to you, you're like, man, I'm so sorry. I was like, what do you guys think was wrong? You just didn't dominate each other. And I know that as competitors that can get at you, but I thought you guys went everywhere. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think a guy who gives those kind of highlights and who wins in that fashion, sure, you can be a Playboy, but let's talk about the fit you were wearing afterwards. So he's outside. He's got the Stone Cold vest. And then he's drinking. But were you smoking as well, sir?
No, we didn't pull out the cigarettes.
We didn't pull out the cigarettes for that one.
No. I bought a pack of cigarettes. I think maybe one of my definitely the first time I ever bought a pack of Marlboro Reds. But it had to be Marlboro Reds.
Cowboy killers.
Yeah. And so I was like, I'm going to take a sick picture with this. And so, yeah, I stuffed a big old tall can of Coors Light in my pocket. And then, yeah, light up a Marlboro Red. And I didn't inhale it or nothing like that. Oh, but Jesus. I just just put it in.
We got,
for show.
I was about to say, I was like, you know what? We got the wrong story here. We got Bill Clinton over here. I didn't inhale. Okay, got it. I just want to make sure that even though it was fake, it did look pretty dope. And I saw it. I was like, damn, dude, I like roasting you, but I can't. It's actually pretty dope. But having said that, you doing that actually speaks more to the Playboy side of you than the Bulletproof. So I don't know that you're going to lose that all entirely. Bobby, let's talk a little bit about this gym because it's beautiful. We had talked about it the last time you were on the show, that it was in the works. Mm-hmm. And what's tough for me is whenever somebody says it's in the works, I can't take it at anything other than just a thought.
Really, yeah, that's all you can at that point.
But when you said February, you were pretty close to how quickly things moved here, sir.
Yeah.
So how did this come together, and what has the experience been like? Because now, what is it? We're almost at a year, right?
No, we're at 6 months of being open now, right?
Oh my God. Well, it's because the last time we probably talked was beginning of the year.
Yep.
In January.
Yeah.
So it's been about 6 months now. What has the experience been like so far?
Yeah, I mean, the planning has been going on I feel like for a long time, but you have to get everything together with the lease, make sure that your business plan is put together. But I have a business partner named Danny. He's awesome. He's really been the one that's been leading the charge, especially on a lot of the administrative things that us martial artists are fucking blind to.
All of us, yes.
Oh my gosh, he's a martial artist as well, but he has been studying business for a while. He's like, yo, let's do it. And then so he was leading that charge, and I kind of knew what the martial arts side of this should look like as far as classes, the type of people we want in here, and then also making a place for our pro and amateur team to really thrive. They were the ones that laid the foundation of this gym to begin with. So we had the backroom boys back at the arena, and pretty much everybody came over, supported the new vision of our gym, and a place for our team to really just be able to grow. So we have amateurs. I think right when we opened, Jordy was having his second fight.
Yep.
Your second fight on Tough Enough. That was the week we kind of opened up, and then ever since then we've been having people getting a lot more competitions. We have an area where we can really focus on them, focus on their training.
Well, speaking of which, hold on. I want to bring this up here because do you know how wonderful it is to bring this whole setup? So it's a whole ordeal whenever I come, and I have to bring the tables, the chairs, all the cameras, everything. When you could say, oh, do you want to set up on the other mats? You have two different sets of mats. So you've got one where it looks like more of the classes happen on that side with ample amount of space. And then you have a second, almost as big space that we're currently set up at.
Yep.
So you have two different sets of mats. So you can theoretically have two different classes going on at once, right?
Yeah, and we do actually. So 4 p.m. we generally is our team practice. So we have a whole hour and a half where we do our sparring. And we usually get a lot of people visiting and kind of helping us spar. So we spread out on both mats. And then we have a kids class that comes on. So a parent can come in, drop their kid off. And then on the other mat, they do adult class, which was kind of a vision we had. When we set up here, dude, we can really do a lot with this. I know a lot of people who want to train, but they have kids. And it makes it difficult. They got to take their kids places. So we have two classes going on at the same time. And it kind of gives us the flexibility to add more classes. If people want to do private lessons while another class is going on, they kind of have that flexibility and that option too. Being a new gym, you're trying to figure out where to add classes and where to put your manpower at. But it's cool. Having this space makes it so much easier than the other problem, right? If I don't have enough space and I'm trying to figure out where to put classes and stuff, it's hard to grow. It's easier to grow into this place because it's a little bit bigger than what we needed in the beginning, right?
For sure. And I mean, the space is beautiful. I love how much room you've got. It seems one thing that I wanted to compliment right off the back is the fact that, okay, you've only been open for 6 months, but you have a formidable competition team in a short amount of time. So I can't tell you how wild it is to see a new competition team have multiple fights going on in one weekend. So you were saying, I thought it was 2 weekends ago, but you were saying it was just last week. There were 3 or 2 of you. There was, oh God, there was 4.
4.
Oh God. It's so funny because I pride myself on being able to pay attention. And on that particular one, I was like, well, I spotted 3. So you mean to tell me you had 4 people on the last card for your team?
We were spread out throughout the states, really.
Oh,
so like we had Jeff fighting for LFA in Buffalo.
That's what, okay.
So we had him and 2 coaches out there with him. And then we had another guy fight on a local promotion here for Epic.
Okay.
He was a little newer to our team, but we had some of our amateurs coach him. And then we had myself and then our other coach, Alex Trinidad, coaching Jordy. And then one of our 18-year-olds made his MMA debut, absolutely crushed the dude first round, TKO. So the whole team went 4-0 on the weekend, but we were logistically very spread out.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of a very busy weekend for the team.
Okay, Jordy, I'm going to come to him with a similar question, but I get very selfish when it comes time for me to compete. I'm usually pretty happy and like, hey, good for the team. But if I'm you and I hear 4 different people are competing and I am one of the 4, are you trying to show up like, hey man, so you're coming to my fight, right? Like, LFA, it sounds fun. It's too far. You should stay with me. Like, how are you like shoring up things? Are you adding extra gifts, bringing extra Celsius to be like, hey, bud, we're going to my fight, right? Like, how do you feel when you hear that many fights going on with your team?
I'm probably promoters probably don't like because I don't really care about who comes up to the fight. Like, so I'm probably not the best with tickets, but I didn't even know. I knew it would either be Bobby or Alex at my fight, but then both of them came and I was like, oh, sick. But I don't even think I asked until like 2 days out or something like that. I'm like, oh, you guys are coming, cool. Like, so
all right,
yeah,
he's very bad at planning. All right,
Yeah.
I'm done talking to him. As a coach now, you've been faced with this, I'm sure, multiple times, but since this is your gym now, things do change and you do probably feel a kinship with all of these guys in different ways. So how difficult is it dividing that manpower and being the central figure that says, all right, we got to have strategy as we go?
Yeah, I mean, so I have a head coach, Vince Salvador. He really runs like the MMA competition team. Like he runs kind of what that looks like, consults. We both kind of consult with each other. So him and then our other coach, Alex Trinidad, they're like the 2 head figures. And then I kind of like try to fill the gaps whenever I can. When it comes logistically, when we're like accepting fights and stuff, we're like, well, kind of like we do need people from the team to also step up and help us out with like warming people up in the back. Cause that's a underrated thing. Coaches can't always do that. And then, so we figure out, okay, who's going to go with who, right? And then Vince is like our primary guy. So the LFA fight, that's our biggest ticket. So he's got to be involved in that one. Me and Alex, we can take kind of care of like the rest of the guys right here. And then for some of the other amateur fights, it's getting some of these guys coaching experience too. Like as a fighter, you will eventually fall into a coaching role naturally. And I think it helps them understand like what all goes into this fight. So that way, when it is your time to fight, you realize that there are a lot of people involved in this for you. So I feel like it's hard to appreciate that sometimes when you're like, when you are just competing. But these guys all know it. Like they know when somebody's like fight week's coming up, like, hey, if you're going with that guy, you're there for them. Like it's them. So these guys are all, they all know it. They all know like how much the coaches are there for them and they know how to be there for the other guys on the team. And I think that's the most underrated thing about MMA is like, it's an individual sport. Like we do it individually, but it's so, there's so much, if you don't have a team, you're not going to be successful in this thing.
So glad he got the name.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it helps out, right?
Slid that right underneath. Because I was going to ask, how did you guys come up with Teams MMA? Because to me, when I hear that, I was not sure what you were going to call it, but it is an assembly of quite a group of individuals, which normally is a team. But why that specific name for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we like we wanted to make a competition team. I think like when we initially made this gym, like I'm competing. We all have aspirations of getting to the UFC. So we wanted a place that was serious, like a competition team. But on the flip side of that, like you can't just have that for a gym, right? Like that's not a sustainable model. So I think what I really wanted to create, and I think we're in the midst of like making this thing, is I want to make like a pipeline. Like, hey, I want to be a fighter. Okay, what does that entail? You kind of have to figure that thing out on your own. You're like, well, I got to get some training here. I got to get some training there. Like, no, you should have it all. You should be able to have it all under one roof with the ability to go cross train because you do need that. But like, you should have an ability to have like from kids to UFC fighter. You should be able to have a competition track or a beginner hobbyist track that just wants to do this for fun and support the team in any way they can. So I wanted to create an environment like that, like having multiple teams that compete in grappling, compete in MMA, whatever they're going to do. I wanted to have them all under one roof and just call it teams. And we thought that was like the best answer for that.
I mean, it checks out. So I appreciate you explaining that. I do want to touch on something that I think you and I do share, which is, so you know when you run rounds in your gym, I make it a point to have my students coach each other. So I make it a point where I remove myself and I get them to start learning how to coach each other, because I say, what if I'm coaching two different people at once?
Yeah.
I might be at the tournament, but it's not a guarantee that I schedule it. If I schedule it, no way would it touch, but I don't.
Yeah.
And then I do a whole bunch of different systems and games for them. And one of them there was a Naga that was recently coming up, and I would have them do points. And I'd be like, all right, yell out the points. And they'd be like, okay. And then I'd go in after them and I'd start yelling out the points. And all of a sudden I'd be like, one, and they're like, what's that one for? And I was like, don't talk to the ref. They're like, what was the one for? Round ends. So they're like, coach, what the hell was that one for? And I was like, he had an advantage. And they're like, what does that mean? I was like, did you look up the rules? They're like, well, yeah, kind of. But why did they get the one? I was like, they're advantage points at Naga. And you need to get used to somebody just getting a random 1 point. And they're like,
pisses you off.
And they go, what the fuck? And I'm like, I'm trying to get out of your system now. And they go, okay, fine. But like, what did you think it was? I was like, first of all, it didn't happen. Second of all, I need you to think that it did happen so that you can learn how to respond better. And two, never yell at the ref. So now that you know this, guess what happened at Naga? Somebody got a point and they looked at me and the guys were like trying to mouth words with like, coach, what the fuck? Like, why? And I go, vibes. They're going off vibes, bro. And sure as shit, now it's become our shorthand where anytime some point happens that they're like, what the fuck was that? They go, the vibes, coach, the vibes were high on that match. I go, oh shit, not great. Okay, I'll look at the footage. So I feel like what you're doing is with your competition team is getting them those rounds, especially at their AMI careers. It goes a long way to making them better coaches quickly. And that's a huge resource. As you guys continue to grow and bring on new people, it goes a long way. So I think even though I'm sure it's scary because you're like, I need Bobby there. I need Alex there. It's like, okay, but you work every day in the room. You just need to be reminded of the stuff the team does together.
Yeah.
So
I mean, a lot of them have they have a lot of knowledge in martial arts. Like they can all step into that coaching role, but like I think coaching is like a skill that like requires experience. You have to mess it up a bunch of times. You have to like figure out what works for you and how to communicate with certain athletes. It's a work in progress all the time. And like I want guys like Jordy to be able to like do their whole career. And if they decide they want to go open up a gym and do it, like they have the experience to be able to go do their own thing and make that happen, or like go run their own team, or go be able to coach like this single fighter. Like should be able to have. I think a gym should be able to provide them with all the skills of martial arts, and then coaching becomes a huge part of that later on in your career, because this knowledge ain't great if it just sits with you. It doesn't really do anything,
Exactly. You take it with you to your coffin. You're like, nope, stays with me. I'm not sharing with anybody.
Exactly.
I do love the idea of Jordy opening up a gym in the future that's just called Individuals MMA. It's just a collection.
He doesn't coach anyone. Everyone just comes in and just rolls.
Ecological.
It's just, you know what? It's your own training. Godspeed to everybody. Good luck.
Ecological MMA probably would be the worst idea.
Terrible, dude.
Just,
Hold
hey,
on,
man,
though.
Figure it out.
You're not wrong for one sense, but for a TV show, that sounds like a
That sounds
great
great.
concept.
That actually sounds amazing. We should try it as like a social experiment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like 8 fighters come in, hoping they're going to get a coach.
Hoping to figure
Guess
it out.
what? They find out no coaches exist. It's Lord of the Flies, but with MMA gloves.
So who naturally takes charge?
One guy's like, I've actually had one more fight than the rest of you guys. That means I'm in charge. Yeah, but you lost 3 of them. Shut up. So, okay. Jordy, for you, let's talk first about your fight, and then we'll go to his fight. Your fight happened most recently. I would love to get your account from when you took it to when you were like week of. So when did you find out about this fight?
Well, I wanted to fight November 22nd for a while, and then it was like I was just getting bogged down with work so much, and I kept like pinging Bobby and Alex. I was like, hey, you guys got me a fight yet? You guys got me a fight? Like my hands are like sweating, like, because I knew, December, not too much going on in December, so I wanted to get a fight in before the end of the year. And then I honestly would say like 2 weeks, honestly, but I actually got confirmed about the fight. And yeah, so and then week of, I'm still like working, and I had a hard time like actually getting in the gym, but I would come in later and stuff like that and get some good pad work. But I would say for this fight, out of all the other ones, I definitely had the least amount of in the room time.
Jesus.
Yeah. And I have this crazy picture. I didn't eat it, but like I'm eating the ship food on the ship. Yeah. It looks like prison food, it's like grade D meat, And literally, so when they bring our food on the boat, it says only for military or prison consumption.
Oh no.
So like I'm sure I didn't get the best meals leading up to the fight, but thankfully it was a catch weight, So, yeah, it was fine. But yeah, I had a good time.
My man's not getting any contracts for the government provided weight cut assistance program. I think that is something that people don't take into consideration is, okay, yeah, you've got a job. You're working for the government. It's what it is. But when you're cutting weight, you don't necessarily get to go to the chef and be like, excuse me, can we do proportions a little bit different? And I'm not feeling these potatoes. Can we do something else? Just like, all right, I guess I got to work around that. So kudos to you for being able to do that. But also, you're in shape. So mostly is just maintaining, is it not?
Yeah, I mean, especially for the catch weight. I literally just I think I missed like dinner or like something like that. I just showed up. So
you were fine.
I was fine. Actually, I had to get the towel on some DC.
Did you really?
DC time. Yeah. Because I was like, dang. I thought I'd be on weight. And so yeah, I didn't tell them that. But
you just always eat.
Oh, no.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to freak anybody out, but I was like 3 ounces. Oh no. And then apparently underwear are like 3 ounces. So
that checks out. Everything counts right there.
Yeah. I had to get the towel.
You don't really have any other hair to get rid of here, so it just is what it is. Okay, when did you know you needed the towel? Like, at what point does it click in? Like, it's not moving.
Yeah,
I think it's got to
I got
happen.
on the scale, and then the promotion was like, "Yeah, you're 3 ounces over," or the commission really. And then they're like, "We're gonna give you one more try," and I was like, "Oh, jeez!" I was like, "I did not drive all the way to the Yuma to not take this flight," and so I was like, I did like a few laps around the parking lot. And I was like, I should be good. And then that was it.
I'm glad that it worked out, though.
Right.
But, man, I just always would tell people, I'm like, I get where DC was coming from the time when he needed to use the towel. but that didn't mean the rest of us can't call him out on it. But I think everybody here who's ever had to cut weight has been like, it's not a bad idea.
No.
Having said that, you in that particular spot made it work, so that's good.
My opponent cut down from 190 pounds.
I'm so sorry. To what?
To 160,
right?
Yeah.
30 pounds?
So it's funny, like he was right there watching me get on the scale, and you could just see he's like, there's no way this guy's about to miss weight. There's no way. And he's like, his face cheekbones like popping out. He's like sipping on water. I'm like, oh man, I'm overweight. And I'm like laughing about it because you could tell like I literally just missed a meal. That was it.
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck?
Jordan, the wrath I would feel. Because I mean, if I were fighting you like that, I would probably have to cut down from like what 183. So then I would be 23. So not 30 pounds, but 23 pounds would piss me off. And if I saw you having to cut 3 pounds and you're like, man, it's not looking good, I'd be like, I'm going to murder this guy. And then the next day, the dude gets beaten up and he's like, I can't win. This kid's doing it all. So it worked out nicely. Tell us a little bit about the fight. What happened? And for you, you were saying some stuff off air. You don't need to repeat that, but you reevaluated the first round of that fight. So just tell us a little bit about the experience of the fight and why the win was so momentous for you.
Yeah, I guess the plan was, I was like, man, yeah, I'm just gonna get in. I'm gonna stay really close to him because I don't want to get kicked, and I'm gonna take him down and do some jiu-jitsu. But and then I think I got him down, and then, it's funny, I like didn't respect his jiu-jitsu so much. I like rewatched the first round, and I get him down. I'm in guard, and I was like, I'm just gonna step over him. And then I literally almost kind of like a knee cut, but I literally just like stood up from his guard and like literally just tried to like teleport in the mount. But then he funk rolled and got out. I was like, dang it. I was like, that one.
You're not supposed to be able to do that.
Yeah, I was like, that kind of
well
worked.
Played, sir.
Yeah, I was like, good move. And then after that, like I said, the guy was pretty heavy. Every time I would take him down, I was like, he would get up pretty quick, and I could feel he had pretty good hips. I was like, man, I'm just gonna punch this guy. I was like, this guy is a little bit harder to take down than I thought it would be. But yeah, I think like I shot it only in like maybe 5 times and 3 successful ones. So
nice. Okay, let's talk about this then. If you know that dude's cutting down from 190, you have to know what's happening that night for him. So did you already budget in, like, this dude's probably eating well and is going to come back? Now, granted, commissions say you can only go up so many pounds, but that doesn't mean
what commission.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you never know.
yeah.
So for you, were you taking that into account, or did you even care at that point?
No, I don't care. But it's like,
Jordy, we are very different people. And really what we're establishing here. One, not planning and being like, oh, the day before, are you coaching me? Yay, I won the lottery. 2, man, this weight cut, yikes, not going well. I'll come in 3 days to get some training and then win a fight. And then being like, oh, I have to cut weight? Oh, I need to drop 3 ounces. All right, underwear off. And how much did you have to cut? 30? That sucks to suck.
yeah.
Anyway, now I'm going to win the fight. Like, that's a lot of me being like, dude, this dude sucks. If I fought you against you, I'd be so mad at you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to make it sound like I didn't take it serious. I take it.
No, it's not that. There are some people in this life. It's not like you're going through and things just happen to be easy. It's just comparatively, the journeys are different. And so when that happens, your journey means that all the prep time you were doing before then paid off in dividends.
Yeah.
The difference is, I just know if I'm cutting 30 pounds, oh man, I'm not nice to anybody.
Yeah.
When I have to cut weight, period, I'm a little grumpier and I'm usually pretty nice. But I'm just thinking, I'm like, damn, dude, that what a journey for you.
Yeah.
But having said that, You still get the win, but what happens in the second round then?
Well, so at the end of the first round, he goes to throw like a super like a left hook or something, completely misses, and then he starts to just walk to his corner, and I threw an overhand from hell, and it connected pretty good, and I knew that and then the horn rang sounded, and after that I was like, I know that hurt, I know that hurt really bad, and when Bobby and Alex are talking to me on the chair, and I could see him over in between them, and he just looked so exhausted, and I felt fine, and I was like, doing jiu-jitsu used to 6-minute matches or more, and super high pace because that's just how I grapple, and so I really felt fine, and so I was like, I'm gonna go out there and just put it on him, and that's what I did. He, every time he would be in a high guard, I would just uppercuts from hell.
Seriously, that was the storyline of that fight. A lot of uppercuts, and I could just hear Bobby yelling "Keep the pressure," and I was like, got it, because the guy, I knew he would like to kick a lot. The one time I was in his kicking range, or 2 times I think, he teeped me really good, and I was like, oh, that did not feel good. So I was like, I'm gonna be in your face the rest of this time because I don't want to get kicked. Yeah.
It's so weird because you mentioned you didn't want to be too close to him to get kicked. So when you
too far.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you. But then you do get that teep, and you go, I think my instincts are correct here. I need to make sure that I'm not in any range for this man. So okay, that goes pretty well. So how does the fight end?
Yeah, so I got him backed up on the cage, and again, he was kind of in a high guard, and I'm just hammer fisting his body, and then every time he would put his arms down to block the hammer fists, I would just come over the top, and then that happened probably 4 or 5 times, that same sequence, and then after that, I heard the ref you got to do something, fighter, and I was like,
yeah.
I was like, fuck everything else. I'm throwing hooks.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's how they ended. Ref stepped in after that, but yeah, it was sick. It was a great feeling. I feel like that was for some reason it felt like that was the first time I've had a fight. The other times, my first fight was over in 12 seconds. So it was man. I don't know. It was I just went out there and just punched the guy. I didn't even get hit. And then my second fight, I didn't really get hit. I got hit once, and then I just did some jiu-jitsu. I was like, it just felt like grappling competition. This one felt like an MMA fight. It was pretty cool.
What was the immediate thought? Because now you're saying, sure, it felt like a fight, but the look on your face was pretty dope. So when I looked at that footage, you looked elated. So what was the immediate thought afterwards then?
Immediate thought afterwards, I was just so happy because I felt that the only people in there that had faith in me to win was my team, was Bobby, Alex, and then Gio. Because I was saying earlier, when I rewatched the footage, when the ref stepped in there, you could hear a pin drop. You could only hear Alex and Bobby
screaming.
Yeah. Because the guy was from Arizona, we were out of town, didn't know nobody there. So it was really cool just to go out there and put on. I take it super serious when we get fights or when I get a fight, because it's the coaches saying that we believe in you and we believe that you can beat this guy. So going out there and doing it is 10 times a crazy feeling.
As it should be. And I mean, for you, it is definitely a step of faith. Your coaches definitely have a belief that you're a good fighter, but I think it's kind of cool to have varying experiences when you're on your come up, because if you just keep knocking people out in 2 seconds, you're gonna be like, does this really work, or do I just keep getting lucky or whatever? At least this time, you saying this felt like a real MMA fight was, you got to show a little bit more of what you can do.
Right.
And you still look good, and that's great. And as you mentioned, it's kind of fun to beat up people in their hometown. even when there might be a poll or two that might indicate that you would not be the person winning that one. That's why I try not to vote in too many polls, because guests do look and see how we vote sometimes. But that had to be a great feeling. So amazing, and kudos to you, young man. So big props.
I feel like, and also kind of point out, like, I think for Jordan's like MMA progression, especially as an amateur, and like as like a coach and people like I train with him pretty much every day. This guy was like a pretty good striker. Like he had a very good record, and he was like knocking dudes out. And like this was definitely your striker grappler matchup, and it was definitely something that they thought they were easily going to steamroll him, and like especially with the striking. Like, yeah, we're just going to knock him out. And then Jordy comes out there and just shows like how he's not just a grappler. Like he is a complete mixed martial artist. He's tough as nails. Kind of can get in there, and he can really show that like, hey, I can do everything. I can sit there, I can box you, I can kick you, I can take you down, I can choke you. And like for me as a teammate and like a coach, that's what I want to see, especially as he wants to go pro in this. Like a fight like that is great. He got tested. We got to see like, dude, he's a fighter. Like I already knew it, but like it's cool for him to be like show that on the stage like that. And it just makes you so much more confident for him to like get an experience like that, and then hopefully like in the next year or so like move into the pro circuit, and he's gonna do super well. Like that's a great experience to kind of see, because you're like, dude, that's what you needed, and you needed to like prove that to yourself, so that way when you do go pro, you're like, dude, I'm in there. I'm good.
Yeah. It was definitely a surreal feeling, and thank you for that too.
Yeah.
But I would one more thing to add, but my first fight, I remember like almost like right before I'm about to go in, I think it was either Jeff or Bobby had asked me like how do you feel? And I was like, oh, it's just gonna be like jiu-jitsu with some punches. And I remember seeing Jeff's face like, oh boy. like oh boy, like this guy's gonna get killed.
That's fucking hilarious. I didn't know that. That must have been Jeff.
Yeah, it was funny.
The thing that made me, I don't want to say laugh, because I never try to laugh, but it definitely entertained me, is I saw the hammer fists in the video footage. And I just remembered thinking, like, it looked like somebody on a controller that only knows, like, the one combination, but they kept, like, spamming on that. And I was like, shit. I was like, figure it out. He's got hammer fists. And I'm like, but I'm rooting for you. And I go, yo, this controller is stuck because my man is just back in there. And I go, oh, my God. But at the same point, for you, getting that respect as a striker, it's another notch. It's something that shows the evolution, and it makes your coaches happy. And for you, it has to also feel good as the grappler to get that status, because honestly, man, there's a lot in your game that already looks good. It's just people, you don't want to become complacent on just like what wins you. It's where you're going. So you doing those things gives your team a lot of encouragement on like, man, okay, if this is where we're at right now, and you already saw the progress that you've made from being just the grappler guy to that, it bodes well. So kudos to you, man.
He had fought in Tough Enough May, and I was like, we could get him on like a show like right away. He's like, actually, I want to like focus on my striking a little bit more and figure it out. I was like, all right, hey, just let us know when you're ready. Like, we think you're ready whenever you want to do it. And then he was like, yeah, I'm good to go. And then we took this matchup. Anytime we say that our guy can fight, like as coaches, we're fully confident they can win the fight. Like I'll never put somebody in there that I'm like not real with. If I don't think you can win the fight, like I won't say that we can win this fight.
Yeah.
Or that maybe we're not ready. So anytime we put somebody in there, dude, but like it was awesome to see as a coach, because he was like, yeah, I'm gonna work on my striking, comes back and knocks this dude out on the feet. It's sick, dude.
So
I love
sick.
that. It was awesome.
Well, let's go back to your last fight, Bobby, because I have some grievances. So when I come to see people in person, I save my grievances for in person. Last time it was the potential you were going to go up against one of my guys. Turns out didn't happen. Great.
was that
It
jiu-jitsu?
was supposed to be ADCC for jiu-jitsu.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And fortunately, it's okay. He just ran into Andy Varela and got triangled and highlighted. All good.
Yeah.
Great first experience, ADCC. Listen to me next time. Anyway, for you, my gripe this time. How did you make the announcement for your last fight? Any recollection of how you did it?
I don't think I really promoted it.
For sure didn't put up a lot of notice. But Bobby is not a reluctant promoter. He's just like, I got stuff going on. He's a busy man. He leads many lives. And again, opening up a gym, totally understandable. But it was the back-to-back announcements that he had a fight and you have a baby coming up. And I looked at it and I was like, you put both on the same day? Bro, I only have so many congratulations or fire emojis to send you. And I'm like, I don't want to send 2 in a row. So I think I sent you one. And I was like, this serves for both. You didn't pick another day. You couldn't space them out. You're like, nah, man, it has to go all one day.
Well, it was my Sunday scroll, and I was like, oh shit, my wife made the post for the baby, so I was like, oh, all right, well, I got to post
clearly.
that. I'm like collaborated on that one, and I think Tough Enough made the post, or maybe I made the post, I can't remember, and collaborated with me. I was like, oh, gotta do that one too. And I was just like, accept. And I'm like, oh shit, that's a lot of things in one day. Yeah.
But I just thought, I'm like, Bobby goes from 0 to 100 so quickly for these posts, and I go, wait. Whoa, that's great. Okay, whoa, when does this happen? And then on top of that, you've only had the gym for a certain amount of time. So we're talking the most amount of life announcements and things going on possible.
Yeah, it's been busy. It stays busy. But I think that's when it's not busy, it feels weird, you know?
Well, I hit up your wife and I just go, we couldn't space these out. And she goes, think about it. This is the only way it was going to happen. Otherwise, he might not announce one of the 2 of them. Yeah. And I don't want him to choose which one he's not going to announce.
I'll forget. I'll be like, oh shit, yeah, I gotta tell people about this.
Could you imagine being like, I promoted the baby, but not the fight, and the promoter going, happy for you, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you sell some tickets for us? Or conversely, you're like, I put up the fight, and then Lauren being like, and did I not collaborate? Did I not accept that offer?
We're having a kid.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. I'm definitely accepting now. Good dadding right now. Well, congratulations. I know that's happening sooner than later, so very pleased about that.
Thank you.
But let's go into the actual fight itself. It had been a period of you not fighting, and with good reason. You knew that you wanted to go back and take some time off and just kind of focus on things. That seems to be a recurring theme for you guys, which is proven very effective. But not just that, then it's the gym opening, then it's finding time for you to train. So it's a lot of stuff going on. What did it feel like to actually get back in the world of fighting and go out there and then have it go so well?
Yeah, I mean, it felt really good. As far as like being out for a while, you kind of like you just itch to like compete again, because I hadn't really competed in jiu-jitsu. I did like a little tournament. I did the San Diego Open. But I didn't really.
Yeah. Well, this is your black belt debut.
Yeah, it was actually, that's right. Yeah, it was my first like black belt tournament, especially for IBJJF. So like I did that one. I beat 2 big ass dudes in at the Open, because nobody really signed up. So I only got to do the open weight class, and then it was just these 2 gigantic dudes, and they were good. So I was like, oh fuck. So I did well in that. I was like, all right, I'm like ready to like stoked to compete again, and I feel like when you have to take a layoff like that, it's like you're redoing like the fight thing again. Like you're not really like back. You have to redo those nerves and like that stuff. So that's always annoying. So that's why I would like to be competing a little bit more regularly. But all things considered, it was good. Like got the gym up and running. We got a lot of our guys like in fight camps ready to fight. And also trying to like nail down a promotion at the time, because I was with Cage Warriors, and then they hadn't come back to the States, so I wasn't sure exactly like which way I was gonna go. Like, do I wait for them to come back and stuff? And then eventually I hooked up with tough enough, and we got a few of our guys on there. And then it was just like, okay, let me get my life together first throughout the summer here. And then I was like, all right, I think this is a good time to start. Like, I think we can come back into the cage and really hit a run here, because the next year, I think, for fighting for me as an athlete is extremely pivotal. I think if I can pick up a few more wins, finishes wise, like in like the next 3 or 4 fights, that'll put me in a good position to get into either the contender series or a short call up to the UFC. So, but yeah, it went well. Had a really good time, and the plan was take this guy down and beat him up on the ground. That's really what and if he lets me sub him, I'll take the sub. That's kind of awesome. But I really want to show people that as a grappler, you know, I don't want to be, and I know the UFC is looking for exciting fighters. I don't think I've ever been in a boring fight, but I want to show that, like, when we get to the ground, like, it's not just I gotta like fend off submissions, like I just gotta not get submitted. Like, this team is gonna beat you on the ground. Like, we're gonna hurt you, and then until you beg us to submit you. That's kind of really what I want. This guy didn't roll over and die though. I was like, damn, dude, he just kept going and going, and the referee came in and saved him. But he was a tough dude, and he wasn't just like giving me the spots. So I had to really just like show what the ground and pound can do.
You have a really good habit of every time I show my friends your fight, I'm like, oh, we like him. This is our pal. And they're like, you say he's super nice. I was like, yeah, it doesn't look like it now, but a sweetheart of it. Oh, I think that dude, yeah, he's dying. Okay, so I want this fight to end. And without fail, I'm talking you up, and then I'm like, I'm good. Like, and it's always my friends who go, I think one of the students recognized you when you came up to visit me. And they're like, oh, is that the same guy? And I was like, yeah, it's cool. All right, guys, let's get back to work. What are we working on today? And I remember, I just thought, I was like, the good news is he had a break, doesn't look rusty. So it looked amazing to see you back in there. So that is the plan then for 2026, is to be in that position to get a couple more fights in there with some finishes and big kind of moments for you as well.
Yeah, I mean, and that's really what I like. That I think that's like, I'm 29 now. I think I'm in a really good like age range. Like, I'm in my prime for fighting, and I think I've got 4 finishes already. I got 100% finish rate, 4-1, and I think if I can just keep that going, and I don't think there's a lot of guys, especially at my weight class, that can really like that can really handle this level of grappling. The pressure that I can put on. And I think that's kind of like a staple of our team too. Mm-hmm. Like, I think everybody on our team, we can put very aggressive pressure on people. We can all grapple. We can all strike. We can really take that fight to wherever it goes, and we don't just like roll over and die. Like, even if we get hit hard or stuff, like, you're gonna have to kill us to put us out of there or take us out. Like, it's gonna be tough. So I think the plan for me is to, and like the rest of the guys, stay busy, stay active, get finishes. That's what people want to see. We're not here to point people out. If we get to a decision, it's not because we weren't trying to finish the fight. Like, all of our guys are always trying to finish fights, and I think that's what we all do really well.
That's what's up. Okay. This is his first time on. You've already done your origin story.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the good news. Because you've done it with me, you can now help me, and you can ask him questions as well. So you can ask follow-up questions, but don't get that nervous, kid. You're good.
I'm not nervous. I will say, though, on that night for Bobby's last fight, we also went 3-0.
Yeah. The team
went 3-0.
You know what? These are important stats to know, and I wish I was better at my job to remember these things, but I want to point this out. I've been trying to get out to this gym for so long. And over the summer, I wanted to like find a time to come out this way. I thought, oh, surely when I'm traveling around for PGF back and forth to Vegas, what's another 2 hours driving down here? Nope, exhausted. And so we ran into each other a couple times, and I was like, hey, man, I know I'm coming for Survivor Series. I'm going to make the time. But like, we're talking the minute he won in September, I'm like, let's do an interview.
Yeah.
And then I thought, I'm like, I just want to do it in person. I want to see your gym. I want to see what you have created and what you have built. And even just seeing a few seconds of the end of an open mat, cool vibes. Everybody's very chill. It's supposed to be a holiday weekend for people. And the people that I see here are what I consider committed to their craft. And if you have a fight team, yeah, dude, people are going to be traveling, seeing their families. But seeing people like you, Jordy, showing up here and being like, okay, cool. This kid just had a fight, still keeping the pace and still maintaining what he needs to do.
Yeah, dude, he's a week out from a fight. He's still rolling. Like, it's badass. I love that.
I always look out at my students who compete and are in on Monday. Even if you're injured, I want to see you on Monday. Yeah. Because win or lose, I want you to take the adulation from our team. Like, show them that you, as a professional, you show back up on Monday. And I just so happen to be the instructor for Monday. So I'll know if you're there or not.
Right.
And a lot of them, they'll tell me something. They'll be like, a couple will be like, hey, coach, I'm going to take Monday off. And I'm like, okay. Do what you want. Like, disappointed dad moment.
Yeah.
But when they show up, and even if they've been injured or they come back, I'm like, see, this is the guy who's going to be a leader. Like, this is somebody who everybody's going to look up to. Or they're just like, I lost, but if they showed up on Monday, I'm like immediately pulling them aside and being like, we're going to fix what we saw because you showed up. If you don't show up, if I remember it, we'll see. So I like seeing very committed people that you'll go the extra mile for them always.
Yeah.
But all right, Jordy, here's how this works. On the show, we do origin story. So we always talk about how you got involved in jiu-jitsu. Okay. The difference is you have somebody here who's knowledgeable about part of your history who can also now ask follow-up questions. And because he knows more than I do, he may know a more pointed follow-up question than maybe a basic level that I have.
The hot seats.
Exactly. So we've seen you under duress in fights, but we'll see how you respond if Bobby so chooses to call you on something. So really, it's a testament to y'all's friendship rather than me putting you in the hot seats. No wings you have to eat and increasing levels of difficulty here. But let's start with the easiest part, which is, how did you get started in jiu-jitsu and or combat? You know, were you playing other sports beforehand? How does martial arts find its way into your life?
You know, I did a taekwondo when I was a little kid.
Okay.
And it's funny, at one point, I think I started like COVID era, like 2020. And I had just broke up with an ex-girlfriend. When we broke up, I realized I was like, dang, dude, I got no hobbies. I'm like, what do I do? I literally I didn't know what to do other than work out. And I was like, working out's kind of boring at a certain point. And yeah, so I just walked into a gym. I was like, I'm gonna do this martial arts thing. I was doing it as a kid. Maybe I'll like it. And then I walked into a gym and I fell in love with it. It was sick. But I was kind of a piece of shit, right? But when I first joined, I would show up maybe twice a week, once a week. But I'm like, I loved it every time I was there, you know? And then, and then I went on deployment and I got shifted back to Japan. And then I really picked it up when I got back to Japan. So that's when I really started training as a white belt.
Okay. Qualifying questions here. So a breakup got you there.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to start with. I may come back to this. I guess I'm just curious. You weren't playing any other sports?
No, I mean, because at the time, I started super late. I started, I think I was 22 when I started doing jiu-jitsu.
You're in really good shape. So did that come from when you enlisted? Because to me,
work out.
You just worked out.
Work out.
When did you start working out?
I don't know. My dad was a bodybuilder when I was a kid, so I couldn't even tell you the first time I picked up a weight. I don't know, maybe 6.
So what was it even?
Yeah, just be trying to do what he's doing. I'd be like, yeah.
He's like, there's a real pump going on, and he's literally got one of those wrappers that you put on for Christmas wrapping.
Yeah, I mean, I would have the 1 pound weights. My dad would still be telling me that I'm doing them wrong.
Okay.
Dad, not like that. You gotta mind the muscle. Dad, I'm 6.
But hey, it's still something. You know, a lot of people come in from playing football.
Well, yeah, I
baseball.
played baseball.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, as an adult, I wasn't playing baseball at 22. I wish.
No, I know. I was trying to figure out what your story was because you're too athletic to just show up and be like, "Well, I'm in shape. Good thing I want to do this now."
I played baseball. I played football.
Okay.
I ran track. All those things.
I literally didn't understand the question. Okay, that was a major problem. I didn't mean like at the age of 22.
No,
she broke up with
that's
you.
how
Like,
I took it.
he's like, "Oh, she broke up with me at a baseball game I was playing. What a heartless lady."
I lost this baseball game and she left my ass.
Okay, so for you, you thought you need to do something. You needed a hobby. Were you watching fights? Did you like fights? Were you at all interested in?
I was like watching UFC when it was on Spike TV,
Okay.
and like I was like, this thing is sick. It's funny because I mean the guy's an idiot now, but one of my favorite fighters was Tito Ortiz when I was a kid. I just thought he was so sick, and his shorts were cool.
That's all. That's enough.
Yeah, that was enough to sell me. I was like, this guy's awesome.
I mean,
And he had a sick nickname, the Huntington Beach Bad Boy.
That's right.
That's
yes.
fire. That's so sick.
I mean, listen, dude. There's a lot of goofballs in this sport,
Yeah,
so it's best not to overanalyze that. And Tito was part of that foundation, though,
Right.
that made it cool. And I remember my wife. We were going to one of my friends' house, and she liked him. And you know, when you show up, she like immediately goes to the person who was in charge and is like, "Has Tito gone up yet?" And they're like, "No." And she's like, "I want to see him fight."
Yeah.
And I go, "Oh, damn, she knows him by name." Like, oh, okay, word. Yeah, no, she was a hella big fan. Okay. So I'll get to the MMA side first in a second. But first, describe your first jiu-jitsu class.
My first jiu-jitsu class. Yeah, I remember I kind of had like a thing in the back of my head of like, man, this stuff probably doesn't even work. Like it's a little like wushu, you know? I was like,
I'm so sorry. The Taekwondo kids coming in and being like, "This is some bullshit that you're teaching."
Yeah, whatever this shit is.
Anybody got a board I can break real quick? I'll show you guys some real martial
I
arts.
remember the guy who was like, he had to been maybe 140 pounds.
Mhm.
And he was like showing like something from Side Control. And I was like, I'll just stand up. I was like, goofballs. I was like, why are you? I'll just stand up. And then I remember just like flailing on the ground. Like, I always did like gi when I first started. And then, yeah, just all those gi chokes.
Was
My
this with
neck
Aaron?
was like, this was at City Boxing.
That's right. Sorry, but
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, I'm a little disappointed that I had traffic today. I did want to roll with you. Time being what it is. Not my friend. I was very angry when I heard you were rolling gi today. Because you were like, "Yeah, I never roll gi." And I was like, "Oh, damn it. Like, that's the way to slow you down. That's what I need. Like, what are we talking about here?"
That's the first time a gi has been worn in this.
Yeah,
Are you
it's
kidding
literally
me?
the first time. Literally the first
time
day.
this has ever been worn. Yeah.
I was thinking about that too. I was like, dang, we're the first guys to wear a gi.
Yeah,
here.
you guys were the first.
Pioneers, sir.
Pioneers. We're gonna start doing sambo, combat sambo.
We the last interview we did, we had a whole segment on how the gi is dead, right?
Well, apparently not. It manifested into your gym, sir. It doesn't look so dead to me now.
No, I gotta fucking handle this shit.
Like, now this dude's like, "Oh,
It's a mutiny.
you know what? At Individuals MMA, it's going to be an all gi exclusive MMA team. They're going to see if they can do it just exclusively with training in the gi. Okay. For you, when did you know that you actually fell in love with jiu-jitsu? Like, when did it hit that this was something that you liked as more than just a hobby?
I would say like honestly, like the first tournament I did, I won gold, and I thought that was super sick. Because I played a lot of team sports. Besides track, like I would be on the podium, but it was cool. But I was on a relay team, so I didn't even really do an individual part of track. So that was my first time, like as an individual sport. I'm like, I did this, you know, like I don't got anybody else. But like, I mean, obviously you have your team, right? But you're the one on the podium. I was like, man, this is super cool. And yeah,
individual MMA.
yeah.
But
That's the new. That is the name of your.
it is 100%. We named it here. Also, I will take 10% of anything that you earn from that. What I do want to point out is, yes, that is cool. That is interesting. Nobody has to fight, though. So why do you, all these years later, when you're watching off Spike TV, you train a little bit, you're reborn from your Taekwondo beginnings after judging us, and then you become one of us. But you don't have to fight. Well, what makes you want to?
I think once I started liking jiu-jitsu, I think I always wanted to do MMA. It's like I said, just from like just being a fan of the sport and stuff like that. And I was like, man, I still like am not the best at like takedowns. That's a secret. Like maybe I have to like cut that part out. Like, but because like I don't have any wrestling background or anything like that. So like when I started, I was like, man, I don't even know if I'd be able to apply this stuff in the real world. Like, hopefully the guy's got a gi on or something. Like,
Get him down there
yeah. So like that was also too. I was like, man, I'm spending all this time doing this stuff. I gotta actually be able to apply this. You know, I think that was also the driving factor.
It's very fascinating to me to hear these different sources of what gets people to fight. And for you, obviously there's a practicality of seeing it in practice and saying like, well, now I want to see it work in its most difficult state possible. But you also find yourself with the right kind of like-minded people, which doesn't always happen. Like you guys pairing up and having similar backgrounds, I'm sure helps the conversation a lot. So it helps to be able to say like, hey man, you're going to be busy as fuck. It is hard to do what you want to do, but there is a path. And I'm happy to loan my knowledge and my team and my resources to you. So how did you guys find each other?
Dude, I was just asking him this question last week. I was like, when did you start training? Because I like don't remember his like first day. Yeah, like it just was there all of a sudden. I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Like I don't really remember like our first meeting. To be honest,
I remember.
I remember. Wow. Okay.
No, I remember. So I'd already knew of Bobby just from like the jiu-jitsu circuit and stuff. I think I actually had seen one of your matches at Arte Suave. Is that how you're supposed to say it?
Yeah.
We're not saying it that way, but I think it's like a white person to say.
Yeah, right. I think I say it wrong. It's like Alliance.
Yeah, I'll just say Alliance.
Yeah, I'm not saying Alliance, man. Whatever. But anyway, yeah, I remember. I think it might have been a Tuesday or something because it was MMA grappling. But I mean, like it might have been a Monday. But anyway, we were doing grappling, and I remember we got into a grappling exchange, and at the time I still wasn't very versed in like leg lock stuff, but I remember like we were like in a leg lock exchange, and I think like almost no one in the room like does like leg lock stuff, and then Bobby's like, "Oh, you want to do legs?" And then like proceeds to like toe hold the shit out of my fucking foot, and I was like, oh, this guy's cool. I was like, this guy definitely made me pay for fucking trying to leg lock him.
That actually, that sounds exactly
like you.
What would happen. Yeah. Especially in MMA, I'm like, oh, I won't do leg locks unless you do the leg locks.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you said something along those lines too. But yeah, I remember. And then, I was telling him the other day, I first walked in because I was like, yeah, I want to try MMA. And then one of our other teammates was like, yeah. He's like, well, what's your background? I was like, I do jiu-jitsu. And he's like, he's like, that's it. And I was like, yeah, man, that's it. And then he's like, well, it's kind of invite only. I was like, and like standing in front of the door, like impeding me from going in. I was like, can I just walk in? Like, I'm a paying customer. Excuse me. Like,
could I just start trading?
Yeah. But yeah, they let me in. So.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember when you first. I just remember not the first day, but I just remember like pretty quickly. I was like, oh, he's tough. He's pretty good at jiu-jitsu. Like we can put we can easily like kind of like you have a good base of a martial art, which I think like you need. Like it's hard to like just come to the competition team to like be like, I want to fight MMA with no base of any martial art. I think that's really hard.
Yeah, it's tough.
Could be possible. I don't think it's impossible. But he had a good base, and like I think the thing was like just being hard to like do things to, even if you like aren't as skilled yet. I was like, oh, that's the recipe. You're gonna learn things way faster. And he did. Like you kind of came in and started crushing him. Like, dude, that's why I was like, when the fuck did you come in? I can't remember. Like I can't remember those days. How many years ago was that for you?
Not any. It was say like literally last year.
Last year's?
Last year, March of last year.
Wow. I can't believe that was only that long.
Yeah, March of last year.
Shit. He's getting good fast. Damn it.
It bodes well again for his progress. Can't say that enough. Bobby, do you have any like qualifying or additional questions that you wanted to ask him about like either jiu-jitsu upbringing or even the transition for his MMA?
No, I think you kind of hit like the MMA transition. I guess one question you asked me, and for my jiu-jitsu thing that I think is always worth. Do you remember the like very first submission that you ever learned?
The first submission I
Like
ever
that
learned.
was like, hey,
Hold on. Can we take bets here? Because I think I have an idea.
Which one do you think?
Hold on. Well, I'm going to tell you, but I'm not going to tell him.
Okay.
All right. So hold on. Hold on. All right.
Maybe.
What do you think? Okay. Well, you would know better than I do. What are you talking about? Like, oh, you're looking at me like, what a fucking terrible guess. I'm like, I haven't rolled with him. I don't know.
I don't think that's a bad guess.
Oh, but you looked like it was. I'm going to go back and check the tape a little bit later. All right. What was your first submission you got?
The first submission I feel like I actually understood. Like the first one that I was like, oh, okay. Because, you learn stuff, but you're like, I don't really know what I just did.
Yeah.
It was definitely the triangle. Definitely triangle.
Hold on. You can't be proud of the fact that you know. Come on, I'll shake your head.
Come on.
It's fine, but it's not that impressive. You know him.
But I'll tell you what I was surprised. I was
What?
surprised he called it triangle. Normally he would speak Japanese.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so are you a Danaher?
Oh,
Are you
I love pissing everybody off by saying that stuff. It's the best.
What do you call a triangle?
Oh, what is it? I think it's Senkaku.
Yes.
Senkaku.
we have a pretty good split on our team because I think we have like some pure American wrestlers, and then we got guys like me and Jordy that'll give a lot of love to the judo game.
Sure.
So we fuck around with everybody. We'll go like the wrestlers want to do a move, like, well, it's actually called this.
Yeah. You're like, it's a hip toss. Well, actually, that's a harai goshi.
But I want to be like, you guys seem like I think it's just because you guys seem as trainers. Like, Bobby, you 100% don't strike me as somebody that's going to say the Japanese version of the name. But because you train with J-Flow and you actually like judo.
I'm like inadvertently learning some of the Japanese words. So I'm like, because that's how J-Flow talk. If you want to ask him a question about it, not that he won't talk to you.
Sure.
He's always going to talk about it in the Japanese way. And I'm like, I should probably fucking learn.
This guy's pretty good. I probably.
And also makes you sound way smarter to someone that you know in the gym.
That's the Donner secret.
But I will give you some leeway. You did live there.
I did live for 5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
And you said that you ended up going back to train when you were there.
Yeah, I trained while I was there as well.
What was training
that was my
like?
first competition in Japan. It was sick.
So your first competition. Okay. What was training like out there? Like, how does it differ from what we do here?
It's extremely formal. Like kind of like the old school kind of like way. Like, if you're late, I would have to do like push-ups, or sometimes if I was late, I would just have to watch. which I'm like, and if you leave, like that's like crazy disrespectful. So like if you show up late, you're just, well, I wanted to train today. Yeah. So and you would never know in their mood. It's like either push-ups or watch. And I'm like, hey guys, I have a job. I'm like, I'm trying to do this. But anyway, it would be like stuff like that. You know, all the stuff that like people give like Gracie Baja like shit for is kind of like how Japan is. So like when you would tie your belt, you would have to face away from the sensei. It's not professor. You'd have to face away from him. You had to call him sensei. Stuff like that.
Oh no,
it was
I
very,
can't do
very
any of this,
formal.
dude. I would have crashed and burned.
Dude,
It was so formal. Yeah. That's just how the culture is in Japan.
No,
too.
for
So
sure.
I was already like brainwashed in the culture of Japan, so I was like, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, my students trip me out sometimes when they go, Coach, can I get some water? And I go, yeah, go get water. I don't care. But then I realize I go, oh, I don't want to be too loose with this. But I remember once a guest once told me they were at a wrestling based gym with a lot of very good people. And they were like, yeah, you don't get water during class. It's a sign of weakness and you learn how to condition your body. And, you know, me being the smart ass that I am, I was like, I'm a grown adult. If I want water, I'm just going to go get it. Yeah. And if I don't, if that's something you don't like, I'm just going to not train there.
Yeah, that's just so silly.
But it's also, that's the rule set they do. That's their gym culture. Sure, do whatever you want to do. I just know that they were teaching these guys who weren't bad guys, pretty good jiu-jitsu and MMA people. They're like, no, you don't do this. And I go, maybe you don't, but also lawsuit at a certain point, somebody passes out. These are just logical things, y'all.
Also, that's probably leads me into how martial arts gym has become like cult havens. It's like little shit like that. That's like just insane to me that I'm like, why is that a rule? Oh, because the sensei said it's a fucking rule. And you're like, all right, you pay a membership here. If you're late to class, you just missed part of it. That's all.
That's like, your dumb fault. Yeah.
Come on. People like ask me to come on the mat. I'm like, don't.
Yeah.
You can just come.
You would have to wait there and before you're waved on, and then you'd bow in and then go.
Well, hold on. I hate it as a practice, but now that I know this, you should 100%
now
be
that
doing
you know
this.
That you could bend people's minds.
Like, no, not everybody. That's wrong. Don't do that to everybody. But you can do that to him. That's very different.
Yes.
Like, could you imagine you're just sitting there and he like comes in late and you're like,
listen, you stay off that mat until I tell you to come on this mat.
You know, it's crazy. We were talking about this a few weeks ago, but I really want a study to be done on like psychology of people in martial arts, because I was talking about the other day, like I was like why did like brand new people, like if I'm like trying to show a thing and you do something where like maybe they would fall over, but they're not supposed to do that while I'm demonstrating it, and they like just like let me sweep them. Like, why is that like the psychology? Like they're just like letting it happen. Like, dude, I didn't just sweep you. Why did you fall over? But it's literally because in their mind, they're like, oh, this guy's more intelligent. I'm going to give him the respect by falling over. And it's the same thing as like wushu stuff. Like, because you're always like, how do they fucking believe that? But it's the same idea. They're like, man, this guy's just, I respect him so much that I'm going to do it, I wonder why that happens in the human mind.
I have a slight explanation. I'll tell you, because I'm pretty good as a drilling partner, but occasionally, yes, that could happen. And I'll tell you why. And it's more simple than you think. I usually just work off of the accord of, does this hurt or not? Because if it's going to hurt, I'm going to do it on my accord. I'm going to be like, this way I at least keep myself safe. I don't trust this goon. Because sometimes somebody might have extra force where if you're surprised, you might be like, okay, I feel that. If I go into it and the move is at least 57% accurate, I'll do it. But what I do after that as a compromise is then I start putting more base in. And I go, nope, now you really got to do it. As long as you have a couple reps of like getting the idea down, no problems. But I do tell people, I'm like, I believe there are degrees that you should amp up your resistance. And the first couple times, I just want to see if the form is right, because I don't give a shit. If you're trying to do it and somebody's being a goofball and they're being too hard to sweep, then you're like, we're in a weird middle ground. Yeah. So that's kind of the thing I do. I've also recognized for as loosey-goosey as I can be, I have very certain things that I am hardcore about. For example, one of my students was asking to do something, and he said, hey, I've got something like that's taped up, right? So I don't want to be crazy. He's like, I literally had something zapped off my hand. I was like, okay, great. He's like, but I shouldn't roll. And I go, well, you know what you should do? You should go do some wrestling drills, just like takedowns, entries. You don't have to do full takedowns, but just get some reps in. He goes over there, and then I see him and his training partner just chatting back and forth. And I was like, oh, don't love that, though. No. It's a 4-minute round, and 2 minutes of that is talking.
Yeah, that's annoying.
I don't like that either.
Bro. And I go, oh, no, they've turned me into the hardcore guy. Because I go over, I'm like, brother, no drill, no drill. We send you away out of this. And they're like,
how do you say that one?
How do you say that one?
And these guys, like, legitimately, you can almost see the photo fading of me into Khabib and be like, nope. And it's so wild because I had to make a point to them where I go, listen, you can come late. It's your own thing. You can talk when you drill, but you're only fucking yourself over in the same way you come late. I'm just letting you know. If I give you time to go do that, it's really going to be upsetting the next time you don't get a takedown in the tournament. And then I got to look at you like, sucks to suck, bro.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to tell you now so that the next time you do something cool in competition and you give me the world's strongest hug, it's because you did something that you worked on. So I just want to get you to the point where you win, as opposed to looking at you and being like, should have been drilling that day. So yeah, I have very strange things, but I had one guest recently. He asked me for permission to come on the mats. And I was like, brother, no, we don't do that. And then this dude was insane. Literally the way he rolled, it went from being like, you know how you're good, still mostly polite and having fun. This dude was trying to murder me on the mats, and he was a guest, and he was like, and I go, what happened to the dude who was asking for permission? Like, come on.
What the fuck?
That's why he asked for permission.
Well, I think so. I think he was like, are we engaging in battle now? And I was like, I guess so. Sure, this is fun. Oh, no.
That would scare
he is, but 0-0 MMA got his first win.
Oh,
so this was his like first win. It was me being like, hey man, I like your fight, and then all of a sudden it was like night and day, but a very solid jiu-jitsu base.
Nice.
And what ended up making him mad was he was having a hard time submitting me. And so it only brought out more and more competition side. And for him being like, you're not doing anything. And I go, no, I know, comparatively, I don't have to. Like, you should be submitting me, but that's not my fault. So, it goes all the ways so that I could see different people in their perspectives of like, all right, these kids need to learn how to drill more. This kid's formal and asking me for permission, but also clearly insane.
There's definitely a middle ground for sure.
So there's always some kind of weird thing. So every gym has their own stuff that I'm sure my students would tell you. They're like, coach is pretty hardcore about that. I'm like, I think I'm pretty loose, but just within reason.
Yeah, I think like kind of for us, the competition team is like that. That's where me and I think everybody really on the team, we don't really have like a lot of tolerance for like fucking around on the mats at competition practice, because like these guys are serious competitors. Some guys are doing this like professionally. Some guys are aspiring to be pros. Like this sometimes is the only time they get to have like some really, really serious training. So like, and it doesn't happen that often, but occasionally you just get somebody that's like, come here to chat or whatever. And I'm like, wrong class. Like wrong class to be doing that at. Like some of these guys are getting ready for fights. Like they're like fired up. This is their time to really turn it on. But like we have like, I never really have this issue even in like our like not competition classes. Like pretty much everyone that comes there, like, this is, I pay to be here. I kind of want to learn the thing. So like, and if they talking too much, then it's kind of like, it's too short of a class for them to really like fuck off too much. So I'm like, all right, next thing, boom. And then like I can't. If I feel whenever I'm like teaching something, I'm like, are guys messing around? Are they not doing the thing we're working on? All right, bring it in, next thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Remember, that was a tip that I got pretty early on in coaching, was like, if you start losing your crowd with anything you're teaching, just bring them in so they can't fuck off anywhere. I was like, oh, that was key for me.
Yeah.
I've learned that my goons all have various learning disabilities. So sometimes it's like 12 different learning disabilities happening at once. So you're almost going around and going like, I'm diagnosing 12 different people at once. Okay, children, shiny thing, here. Anybody have any questions? Nope. Okay, great. I had one guy who was not asking a question, but then didn't even try to drill the move and goes, hey, coach. And I was like, try the move first. Try the move first and then ask me a question.
Oh, yeah.
Me asking, do you have any questions before we break is the last time to ask me a question before you try it. So try it once. Because I think you actually know how to do it, but you need my support, and that's probably not great. So just try it. And then all of a sudden they were like, is it like this? And I go, yes.
Yay, good job.
Bro, you don't need me to just be like, you can do it on the inside.
Yeah.
And the best part is it's like watching somebody clinically go insane. And I go, oh man, these kids are going to drive me to a fucking early grave. But the nice part is when it works, then you see what you're talking about, which is they want to come. Mm-hmm. They want to show up. So it's like they actually start the culture of, hey man, we got to drill. Yeah. Whether they're saying like, coach is watching us, we better be drilling, or they're saying like, hey, I'm spending money. You better give me my time.
Yeah.
And then if you guys have a joke or two, it's not the end of the world. Right. Like, you're humans. But if you've spent more time talking than drilling,
yeah, that's like
it's like roast you, dude.
Yeah,
I don't know what to tell you. Probably gonna put you on the spot. And worse, if I make you show the move in front of everybody, oh boy. Yikes. All right. Gentlemen, I want to get to what you're doing next. We already know for you what your 2026 looks like. Jordan, for you, what does 2026 look like, sir?
I'll probably kick off the year with ADCC San Diego. After that, hopefully be looking for another fight around that area.
Okay.
Then after that, I think March 16th is trials.
Is that March? Nice.
Wait.
March 20th?
316 is going to be trials?
That would be crazy.
Uh-oh. Well, now I'm going to cause some havoc. 316 is Stone Cold Steve Austin's moniker. So 316 day, without fail, somebody gets stunnered by me. And we always do a bit. If it's the same day,
that'd be sick.
Man, I'm going to ruin so many fucking people's ADCC. Because, like, I try to stay out of everybody's competition life. But if the bid is that day, I'm going to be like, well, hey, listen, man, in between your second and third round, we're filming a skit. Oh, my God. All right. We got to double check that. If it's the next week, it's much better, I think.
Yeah.
But ADCC is next for you then. Trials out here in LA?
Yep.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Trials out here in LA, which is sick.
I mean, you're continuing to do great things. It'll be great to see you. And Bobby, I mean, it's going to be great for you to be able to get back to trials as well.
Mm-hmm.
Busy ass man. I know we talked a little bit about East Coast trials and just the schedule is not going to permit it. Got so many other things going on. I'm sure both of you were watching. Were you guys keeping an eye on your respective divisions, I'm sure?
I caught some of the highlights on there and some of the... Mainly I was watching because Ian Dalby, I think, did pretty well.
He did great, man.
Yeah, for like honestly, I was impressed that like he made the podium and stuff. So it's hard to do.
Not just made podium, but like for his respective level and what he does, it's easy to be a certain way at that size. Played it very well. Very athletic, some real good strategy he was playing throughout.
Mm-hmm.
And just coming up a little bit short, but I saw an advance in his game in a big way.
Night and day from where he was. So that was kind of cool to see, but not a lot like comparatively like how trials normally is. There wasn't a ton of like those divisions weren't filled out.
Oh, you mean 45% less people?
Yes.
Yes, that was very odd. especially when I saw, I mean, Ian, hold on, where are you? You're over here. Ian, no disrespect, but like 99 plus having about 45 people in it.
Yeah, that's
pretty
light.
Is insane.
Really
like
light.
legitimately insane. Because then you're getting into the argument that women don't get their bid from that one. They have to come to West Coast trials, and women in one of their divisions.
I don't really get that.
That doesn't make
It's a-
any
it's a
sense.
whole
Yeah.
What's the even point of them doing it then?
So I think they're in a weird space. I don't want to get off. We'll talk about this more off air. But legitimately, it is a problem in that they need to be ready to explain it in a way where the excuse isn't good enough anymore.
Yeah,
because
are they saying that East Coast is just not as high level as West Coast?
East Coast. So what they're saying is they only have 8 spots. If you only have 8 spots, you can't give 2 West Coast, or I'm sorry, East and West Coast a bid. So what you do is you go to the East Coast to get a higher seed, or to have more reps, if you would.
Yeah.
So like it sucks because we're gonna interview Mo Black pretty soon. I'm like, you want Mo at that thing? She's really freaking good. She is one of those top individuals. So to make her potentially not have that seed sucks. I think it's coming. And I think it's a good sign that they are doing a 3rd women's division. But it is funny to see the men's bracket just as big as the middle women's weight and saying, well, they don't go. So it's kind of in a space where I'm like, okay, I think you got to come up with a better excuse sooner than later.
Yeah. I mean, they're running it. They know this stuff way better than I do. I kind of really taking a look at it at a glance. I'm like, that's kind of weird, but.
Well, the one thing I did want to bring up to you, Bobby, is I did notice, and I'm sure you only saw the highlights, but there was a downturn of people going off the mats without a certain somebody there.
That's fucking bullshit.
I'm just telling you, listen, bro. I think I was so glad you didn't go to East Coast Trials because there was not fancy carpet there. It was all solid fucking asphalt.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, dude.
That's how it was in Portland. It was just concrete. I was like, man, I hope I don't go off the mat.
Like, that would hurt.
I'll be honest with you. You look like a worthy candidate as well. This one is just, he doesn't care. He has told me it's happening.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I've seen Bobby at ADCC, he's off the mat somehow.
Literally every match.
Literally every match. We have discussed this on the show, and we have said that our biggest culprits in the sport are all friends with the show. So like you, Cody, Steele, everybody who goes off mats is a friend of the show. And I'm always like, I hate it so much, and yet I have to tolerate it because I want you to do well. So there's a part of me that's like really struggling where I go, oh, at least get the top position so that we could get reset back there. And then there is no top position. It's just all freaking fighting off of the mat.
Trying to settle something.
It's legitimately like the match could have been paused at any point, and the ref's just like, oh no, what do I do?
But the pit kind of can solve a lot of these issues.
If they would
just make a fucking
if they would.
Yeah.
But as is, they already have to do 10 mats. So that means you need 10 pits.
Well, no, you could just do like one large pit that encompasses all the mats.
But you're still going into the other matches.
Yeah.
That's going to be unavoidable. All right.
Bobby's just like, there's no getting around that. I will show up at mat 1 from mat 10.
Wrestle or like keep it in the center. Like,
Yeah.
You got to just, if you don't want to get off the mats, don't go to the side.
Yeah.
Listen, bro, you're preaching to the choir. And I say this as somebody who can't wrestle. So I'm looking at that and I'm like, looks like a tough problem to have. Okay.
That's why then they'll start pulling guard a lot faster.
Thank God, dude. Because you guys can't say this, but I can. UFC BJJ would be so much better if we could just get to some of these people pulling guard.
Like,
I think it's
to it.
It's against the rules. You cannot pull guard in UFC BJJ.
I like that.
Okay.
So I like that if they're actually willing to do a takedown. But what Mikey does is so infuriating to watch. Like Mikey Mitsumeshi, amazing, right? Literally
we don't
amazing.
disagree on any of that.
But the kangaroo hop, I was like, yo, this is gonna be the bane of jiu-jitsu for like X amount of years.
I will tell you this. you need the right people to make that rule work.
Yeah.
And if your franchise star is doing it, it's not the right rule set for the right person. And it's not the right showcase for it. So that's why I'm always with Mikey. I go, he's so good.
Yeah.
If we could just have him pull guard, we don't have to see this bullshit.
Yeah.
And really, that's where I think, I don't know. I don't know what the incentive is, but there's no incentive for him not to do it. It's just like, all right, just got to do it.
Just got to kangaroo hop.
I mean, I think like for like the UFC's brand, like they're coming from an MMA style. A lot of if they're trying to get their already base of viewers to like bite off on this jiu-jitsu thing, already grappling in MMA is like not something the average MMA fan likes.
Yeah, yeah.
They actually hate it.
Yeah.
Until like they're beating the shit someone on the ground or they're submitting them.
Yeah.
But so if you try to get him there and then all of a sudden these people are just pulling guard, those people are like, that's the worst part of the sport anyway. Fuck that. I'm not gonna watch this.
It's tough.
It's hard. So, but if you get some like intense, the matchups make it. Like if you get like some good dudes that are willing to wrestle, this is where like their matchmakers have to be better. It's like, all right, like don't get the Mikey Musumeci on that rule set. Maybe you make a difference.
It's so difficult because then you're doing an exception for one guy and he's clearly getting them attention. It's very complex and I don't envy their position.
Yeah.
But I do know when I tell people like, you guys want to watch this? And then Mikey's hopping, I go, I'm so sorry I made you watch that.
You're like, just kidding, don't watch that.
Oh my God.
I think
so bad.
I think they're good like breadwinners like right now is definitely Tackett.
Absolutely. Both Tacketts.
Yeah, both Tacketts. I want to see them get Keith some more matches. He's exciting to watch too.
Absolutely.
But yeah, those guys are guys that can play both, you know, like
Andy Verrell too.
Andy's always so exciting. You know,
they have the right people, and it's not bad of a rule set.
Yeah.
It is just your main event, and this one will be intriguing. That comes up next because Tackett is headlining it, so it'll be interesting to see what it's like for somebody who is not going to pull guard like that. Like Tackett will wrestle.
No, and neither will Elijah Dorsey.
Yeah.
I've gone with both of them, and they're both, which is pretty funny actually. But they both have a very good they're good wrestling style, and very. I think like they have the modern grappling style that I think what we want.
Exciting,
to see, right?
Yeah.
Like the best matches I think in the entire world was like Andrew Tackett versus Kay Vertulo and CJ. Like, I mean, I can't think of like if I'm trying to get someone to like grappling, watch that.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, this is grappling? Be like, no, but that was the best one. That was amazing. We're still trying to work so all the matches look like this, but we'll get there in like 5 years.
Bobby's just, I love that you're too honest, where you're like, actually, no, this is an exception, but it's a great exception.
It's a great exception. And like, because then you saw the finals of like CJI on something, and it was like, because you can pull guard, Jones, Levi, Lear, amazing guard. He's amazing, but that's not it wasn't fun to watch. Like,
wait.
If you were a jiu-jitsu like purist,
you could pick
you'll
other
be like
things.
Awesome. But someone that's like pulling guard compared to like what the match in the semis was, you're like,
I hear you, but
this is not as good.
I would counter like because I like the match with Levi and Cade. It was like super. Just Cade just couldn't pass his guard, you know. But it was super still fun to watch. I love takedowns and stand up, but I also hate when like they're just like deadlocked like this, and we're just hand fighting.
I hate that too.
It's so annoying. I would rather honestly watch someone just pull guard and someone trying to pass than just this. You know, I always give my friend Steven shit because I call him a point monkey. Because he never tries to get any subs, but like the first 3 minutes of the match of every one of his matches will be like this, and then someone gets a disadvantage, and then like he'll win by 2-0.
Like, boom.
Yeah, like I'm like, but yeah.
Like, well, the two of you still have youth on your side, so you can say that. I like to look at people as an old person and be like, win how you need to win. Young man. Like it is a tough game as you get older, because there have been plenty of matches where I know as a coach I tell my students don't ever apologize, But if I feel like it's been an exceptionally boring thing, I will go up to my team and be like, I'm sorry. They're like, coach, no, that was boring as fuck. Like, we just forehead wrestled. We can't out wrestle each other, but we're also old. So we're trying not to concede and pull guard. It's not going to be exciting for anybody else, including us. But we're just locked into it. And they're like, yeah. I was like, yeah. What I wouldn't give for a functional moving body at this point to get a takedown. But having said that, I'm not subjecting people to watching on TV, so take that.
That's true. That is true.
So let's do this. Why don't we go ahead and plug some stuff? And you can tell people where they can find you, as well as thanking any of your teammates that have been helpful to you this year, as well as any shout-outs to any sponsors. Because I'm already looking at this, Jordy, and this shirt I've been looking at all day. Shout out to the good friends over at Gold Jiu-Jitsu. That's a dope shirt, dude.
Oh, yeah, I like this shirt a lot. We're both with good.
I know.
Yeah.
I you know what? Gold has been very kind to us here at the show as well. So we definitely want to make sure we give them a shout out. But I'll start with you, Jordy.
Yeah, I mean, shout out again to Gold. Right. Obviously, shout out to the team. You know, I think biggest shout outs, like when I had already knew about Bobby and Alex Trinidad before coming, starting MMA, because I was like, oh, they're doing this and they're both active duty. Like, I didn't even know you could do MMA as active duty. I thought it wasn't allowed. Like, I'm like, these guys are doing it. So they're consistently like I don't have an excuse, you know? Yeah. So like, it was easy to be like, to play the violin and be like, oh man, I can't do it. I got to do this, you know, which most people will play that violin, but these guys are here all the time. So
that's what's up.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Bobby, all yours. That's the camera.
Awesome.
Nope, that one,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So shout out to the entire team here at Teams MMA, from the coaching staff down to our youngest kid that's in the gym. It takes a village to make this thing happen. So I'm super appreciative of everyone that's part of this team. Special shout out to Coach Vince Salvador. He really is setting the culture here at the gym, and it's awesome. You can tell by all the fighters here. You can find us on Instagram at teams_MMA. You can find myself at Bobby Winther MMA. I usually collaborate with the gym all the time, but
sorry, apologize.
Some shout outs to some sponsors. Defense Strategy Group. They have been a sponsor of me personally since I like really stepped into this game. They've really helped me out. And then Gold BJJ. They're my two personal sponsors. As far as the team sponsors, we got team sponsors here. Freebird Coffee. They are a veteran-owned company. Best damn coffee in the world. They crush it. They've really been helping out a lot of guys on the team, and they sponsor us. And then American Lineage is a also veteran-owned t-shirt company. They're crushing it in the game right now. So shout out to them for the team. Oh my gosh, who else am I forgetting? I'm good. If I forgot, I'm sorry, but I think I'm good.
For the most part, if you didn't,
Emerald Spirits, right?
Oh yeah, Emerald Spirit too. Yeah, they're part of it too. Shout out to Emerald Spirit Tequila. Go out there and get yourself some Emerald Spirit Tequila. It is pretty damn good. But yeah, always another veteran-owned company too.
I wouldn't have known, honestly, if you didn't tip me off.
Emerald Spear?
No, I'm saying, like, when you're like, is that good? I'm like, bro, I don't know.
Yeah, I know you.
But you're looking at me and asking me, and I'm like,
I just
dude.
need someone to say yes, and then that's all it takes the blame.
I also don't want to placate you, because what if you did miss one? Then I'm on record as being like, that's okay. Yeah. All of a sudden, title sponsors like, you didn't name us.
Yeah, you're like,
and Raph said that was okay. And I was like, I didn't say anything.
Grappling Hour cut me off.
It was all Raph's fault. 100%. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Let me go ahead and say this to you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate you for watching. And If you don't know what you want to comment on, I said I would give you a prompt. The prompt here is this. What do you fall in line in? Are you a call the move by a Japanese name or a real name? Not to say the Japanese words aren't real, but we America here. So I'm not trying to call things. Wait, hold on. What did you say?
I said we can't prove that the Japanese are real or not.
Science is still out there. We're waiting for the conclusive evidence to come through. I'm just telling you, if you're counting on me giving you the scientific Japanese name of it, I'm probably too stupid. So we should just bypass this so that I don't spend too much time second guessing what is really just a Kimura. So it be that. Additional like, comment, subscribe, patreon.com/grappling hour. Check these interviews out 30 days before anybody else. $5 a month. Not much, guys. We try to keep things pretty civil here. Additionally, you can also get you some Grappling Hour merch, rafsparza.com/merch. And if you want to continue with the conversations wherever you're on the show, check us out on our Discord at Grappling Hour. Yep, I was about to say at Rafsparza. I was like, I don't have a Discord for myself. Thank God I don't, because that would be terrible. I would have nothing to talk about. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. My thanks to both Jordy and to Bobby over here. Keep your eyes on both of them for very different reasons. They're going to be terrorizing both the MMA and Jiu-Jitsu circuit in 2026. So just be ready for that, you guys. They aren't sleeping at all. My thanks to you for watching, and it's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats.
Perfect.